Vi har modtaget deres brev, hvor de anmoder om enkestøtte. Uden deres mands dødsattest kan jeg desværre ikke imødekomme deres anmodning. En mand forsvinder ikke bare.
Karoline? Hvem er det?
Jeg er hendes mand.
The Girl with the Needle. This Oscar-nominated film happens in Copenhagen in Denmark in the 1920s, right after the end of, or right about the end of World War I. And we're following Karoline, who is a widow that works in a soulless job as a seamstress in a factory. And she, the premise is in this really dark and poor world, Copenhagen, we see her having an affair with the manager of the factory and the owner of the factory that leaves her pregnant. And sure enough, within the first 10 minutes, that is not the setup that she wants, because she can't get, you know, she can't make a living just based on that job. And her story slowly devolves into trauma and chaos that involves a lot of children and what happens with them. Now, without spoiling much, I think this film looks like my vision of hell, but what is your first impression, Buzz?
I mean, Denmark's not that bad, Alex.
Yes.
But no, I would agree with you. I think it is a version of hell, definitely. You know, you don't get a lot of scenarios that are kind of worse than this. It's very distressing to watch. There's not a lot of positivity in this film. It's extremely dark and gritty, and it really does immerse you straight from the get-go. The intro is these faces that are moving on camera so fast with a black background, and you can't really quite make them out. You don't know if it's a disfigured person that's moving their face around, and it's this ugly kind of intro. And then what precedes that is this kind of poverty-stricken post-war Denmark that the quality of life is shockingly bad, I think, and there's no value to anyone's life, you know, unless you've got money. And our protagonist, Karoline, unfortunately, falls into a relationship with the factory manager, which is great at first, but he's got a very controlling mother who's not a big fan of her son dating a peasant, essentially. And then alongside this, so that doesn't transpire. And then alongside this, you've got Peter as well, her thought to be lost husband, who is massively disfigured by the war. Is very scary. Good makeup job, that, because I don't think the actor looks like that in real life.
Det krigen spyttede ud. March! Mine damer og herrer, se nu godt efter. Se lige ind i det, aviserne ikke turde skrive om. Se lige ind i smertens ansigt.
Karoline falls pregnant, doesn't she, Alex? And this is causing a massive issue for her.
Yes, yeah, and it is a very depressing watch, but it's absolutely beautiful at the same time. But we'll come back to the cinematography in a moment. But the story of the Karoline is also almost like from the moment that she's betrayed by her so-called husband, because they do decide to marry, that is the manager of the factory, she returns to her new home that is like 4 walls. It's completely very poor, where a bucket acts as a toilet for her, just to give an example how bad it is. She returns home, and you can see on her face from that moment on that she's staring into a downfall. She knows, like, okay, I'm not in a good position here. I don't have a job. I can't afford this, not even this flat. and I'm pregnant. So she doesn't really know. So immediately she thinks, I need to solve this problem, and hence why her attempt with the needle to get rid of her pregnancy. But this is the first half an hour, and you're thinking, where is the hope? That's what you're looking. You're looking at a black and white film, which is mostly black and gray, to be honest. And you're thinking, okay, this is not good. This is not good. No, I can't see a shining light from any direction coming for this character, and it goes down from there. And that was the shocking moment. From I was thinking, how much worse?
How can this get worse? How can this get worse?
Exactly, and it does. And I was like, wow, okay. So cinematography wise, this is one of the most beautiful films I've seen. In contrast with the story, depressing story that we've seen, what did you think of how it looks, this film?
I thought it looked very clean and slick, and there's a lot of I think me and you mentioned this quite a lot, more so yourself and me, Alex, but there's a lot of films where you can freeze frame them and it would be good enough to be an oil painting, and some of the scenes in this movie are no exception. The framing and the lighting paired up with the monotone black and white makes this film a real joy to watch in an artistic way. It really does. And even just the shots of the town that Karoline resides, and then her own crummy little one bedroom kind of room that she has to stay in, and then the shots of Peter as well. Some of these shots of Peter, her disfigured husband, terrifyingly scary. No shock horror or anything like that, just awkward and scary and very well done. So yeah, the cinematography in this is second to none, Alex. It really is.
Yeah, I wished Nosferatu had a cinematography like this, because it would have matched perfectly with what it looks like. But even later on, just the fact that when she meets one of the, past 2 decades, I've got probably top 3 or top 5 villains of all time in my own, what I've seen. And the villain in this film, Dagmar, when she meets the lady, the adoption lady, that is, what a villain that is, because it's so complex and layered. What she's doing is justified almost. But remember, in such a dark film, when she joins Dagmar and she moves into her place, they are behind a candy store, and even that candy store looks creepy and scary. You're almost looking at those shelves and those jars, and it feels like they're bones in them instead of candy.
I was going to say you're probably going to contain eyeballs or bones,
exactly,
or something else from a human bodily part or something like this. Yeah. So, but what a freakishly demonic thing to have a sweet shop as a front for this malicious character, essentially. And as you say, great way to describe her as one of the top villains in movie recent memory, almost, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah. The actress, I've never seen her before. The actress is absolutely nailing it, and it's almost scary. Sometimes you're thinking, is she ever going to be able to come out of this such a strong role? But back to how it looks like, the cinematography. Here is a fact that you'll be pleasantly surprised and also shocked to hear, just like this film. The cinematographer for this film worked on a real pain.
Wow.
How different are those movies, Buzz?
Wow. Well, yeah, it couldn't be further apart if they tried, could they? I mean, wow, that's really surprised me. That's really surprised me indeed.
So I think we'll hear more of him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Do you know the name off by heart, or?
I don't know. When I looked it up, I don't. But I was like, wait, what? Because he's done another film called EO a few years ago, which is about a donkey going around, I think, from one country to another, Lost Donkey, and it's so funny. That was nominated. That's a very good film too. But this one was this is definitely not a Christmas film, not even a Sunday film. This is not. You need to be you need to go to your most happiest place in the beginning of the film, so that you have a lot of happiness to peel off of you as you watch this film. Isn't that true?
This is a film that you have to watch with people who are also interested in films, and also people who are trying to find out what the heart of the human condition really is. Sure. That's what this film is. As you say, it's not going to be next to The Grinch, I don't think, next year on a Christmas movie, is it? That's all we'll say. Thank you very much for watching our review of Girl with a Needle. If you'd like to watch a similar dark, atmospheric, black and white film, we'd recommend Nosferatu, which me and Alex reviewed earlier in the year. Please like and subscribe, and always, and we'll see you in the next episode.